a TFWire.com video review.
Hey, this is Matrix Prime of TFWire.com with my video review of the Transformers movie Deluxe Autobot Jazz figure. Yes, Hasbro once again slapped the word Autobot in front of the toy's name, since they no longer had the rights to the name Jazz. So here we have the figure in alternate mode, of course. This mode is modeled after a Pontiac Solstice. As you can see, we have the Pontiac symbol here up front. I'm not familiar at all with the Pontiac Solstice. Judging by this toy, it's a real small two-door coupe. The color scheme here is, well, practically just one color here. It's this rather dull looking and ugly gray. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this is not an official Pontiac Solstice color. This is probably supposed to be silver. But what we're left with is this rather dull gray. Now if we look at the back of the figure here, flip the spoiler up here, the tail lights as well as the third brake light here are painted a orangish red color. That's not even a real red, so that looks pretty ugly with the dull gray. If we look around here to the front, the headlights are painted a silvery sparkly blue color. The fog lights down below are painted yellow, and the grille here is painted black. The wheels, which are plastic, are also black, as well as the rims, and there's also a small sliver of silver painted around the wheels on the inside there. Now if we look at the windshield and the side windows here, those are made up of a translucent blue plastic. If you look inside, you can see a little bit of detailing on the dashboard in there. I believe you can also see a seat. I'm going to say that's a seat. I'm not quite sure on the driver's side there, but it sort of looks like a seat. That's pretty much it for the colors. There's a few problems with this toy in this mode, but one of them is, if I push the toy along here, you can see that the front wheel spins some of the time, and other times the back wheel spins, but they don't all seem to spin at the same time, which is kind of a problem. And as I'm pushing the figure forward here, you can see that it's kind of turning left. See it here on the other side as well. Those wheels seem to spin a bit better. I'm not quite sure why they're not all spinning. There are two black plastic things on the bottom here, which are probably a little bit lower than the wheels, so that's my guess as to why they're not spinning. Again, I don't know if it's just my figure or if this is a common occurrence with all of them, but that's one knock against it here in the car mode. Now the figure does come with a weapon. We have the weapon here. As you can see, it's got this little hook here on the bottom, and if we raise the rear spoiler up, you can see that there's two little plastic tips here, and we simply slide the hook in between those, and we have a weapon in car mode. However, the weapon doesn't fire anything, so I don't know what its purpose is. I guess it's just for looks. Overall, the car mode is hideous, in my opinion. Combine that with the fact that the wheels don't spin completely all the time. I'm probably going to give this mode a 5 out of 10. Alright, so next I'll show you the transformation to robot mode. And to start, we'll grab the back wheels here and simply pull this entire section down here. And if we look here on the underside of the front, we have a peg, and on the section I just pulled it down, we have a hole here. So simply insert the peg into the hole, make sure it snaps into place there. Fold these sections down here. These will become the legs. We'll separate them, rotate the bottom half around here to the front, fold the feet down. Inside the feet we have the heels, so fold them out, do the same to the other side. Alright, so next we got to separate the front sections of the car here. And it's a bit tricky because they seem to snap together quite well. There we go. So with those separated, next we kind of pull out and lift at the wheels here, so that the entire section rotates up like that. Do that to the other side as well. And as you can see, as you're transforming the figure, it'll probably the top section will probably pop off from the bottom, so you have to keep snapping that into place. Next, we gotta flip this section up here and take this piece here and fold it down around the back of the wheel here. And then we gotta raise this piece up, fold out the three-fingered hand here, kind of fold this panel back onto that one, and we can rotate the arm back down here. There's one arm. Go ahead and do that to the other arm as well. Flip this panel up, flip the hand out, fold this panel back on down to the other one, and simply lower the arm down here at the shoulder. Now, the only other thing we have to do here is get the head up here in robot mode. So to do that, turn the figure around here to the back, fold the spoiler up here, and we go ahead and push the windshield section onto the back of the figure here and lock that into place. And again, the top section is coming apart from the bottom. Take this back up and around. And we now have Autobot Jazz here in robot mode. Now there's quite a few issues with this figure here. Get the arms actually down where they should be. Alright, so there's quite a few problems with this figure here. The first being the arm design. The forearms are actually made up of two different pieces. As you can see here, we got this hole in between here. They're simply on a hinge, so the two panels fold together. They don't actually lock into place, so they're just free floating. If you bump into them, they'll move around. So that's a big problem there. The next big problem we have here is this top section of Jazz. It's just completely empty and black. If we look at the bottom portion of the figure here, you can see it has the nice botanical design to it. We've got the angular pieces. There's quite a bit of detailing in there. It's pretty solid. And as we move up to the top here, it just falls apart. It looks like two different teams of people actually worked on this toy here. As far as articulation is concerned, the head can rotate 360 degrees and move up and down. The arms can rotate here at the shoulder. They can move up and down at the shoulder. There's some movement here at the elbow, not much. The legs, there's lots of movement here in the legs. They can move forward and backward, in and out of the body. They can bend and rotate at the knee. The feet can also move up and down. So the articulation in the lower body is quite nice. The upper body, while it's there, the way the arms are designed, it's just pretty horrible. Now the figure does come with a weapon, as you saw in the car mode. Let me get that here. Now this is, on the back of the packaging, this is called a telescoping sword. Okay, I get the telescoping part. How is this a sword? If you see, it's got the little peg down here so that the figure can hold it like a gun. Last I knew, swords had a handle down on their bottom portion so that they can be held like this. I've never seen a sword held like this. So, whatever. Now if you look at the little hand here, the figure can of course not hold this gun. So what you have to do is unfold this panel here, And if I look at the inside of it, you can see there's a hole there. So you just insert the peg into the hole like this. Close the panel as best as you can, and the figure now has a telescoping sword. It looks like some sort of long-range rifle to me, but the way the figure has to hold the weapon, you can see that the little scope piece down here is actually upside down. So yeah. Now there's one other thing that this figure has. It's a shield, and to get to the shield, you have to take the spoiler here and actually disconnect it from the toy, which is easier said than done because the spoiler is actually attached to just a regular hinge joint. So you actually have to remove this piece from the hinge. Yeah, easier said than done. There we go. So after you remove it, and after it sounds like you've broken it, you can fold this piece back down here. And if we look on the inside of this, there's a peg here, and you can simply place this on the wheel here, on the shoulder. And there is the shield. I'm not quite sure how that's a shield, but there you have it. So the car mode was bad, but the robot mode is worse in my opinion. I'm going to give the robot mode a 4 out of 5, possibly a 3 out of 5. But now I'll stick with the 4 out of 5. So overall, I'm going to give this figure a 4.5 out of 5. I would highly recommend avoiding this figure. Save the cash, go see the movie a couple more times.